Hello, and welcome back to my Pixelmon mini-series that's supposed to be a hardcore Nuzlocke, but it's still kinda missing the Nuzlocke part. Last time we spent a good deal of time just building out our base where we could plant some apricorn trees and build a little workshop where we could sustain ourselves with Pokeballs. And after smelting some iron, we even found a Meltan. A comment to mention that the odds of finding a Meltan is about 1 in 3,000 per piece of ore that you smelt. And based on the amount of iron I had in my inventory, that was like a 2% chance. That was the first time on the save that I smelted anything. And then my game crashed. So that was a fun way to end my session, but that wasn't the end. I decided to take on the battle road to wrap up, and lost my Ludicolo to an Excadrill who carried Poison Jab. Why Poison Jab? However, we didn't have to end on a sour note as the server deities granted me 2 free crate keys, and we landed a shiny Lunala on our first try. And it was in its full moon phase as well. For those who don't know what that is, neither did I. Basically it's the form that Lunala's in while choosing its signature move, Moongeist Beam. Pretty cool. I've been given 2 more keys which I'll be using at the end. If you haven't watched my last video, please go do so. I go into detail about exactly what Pixelmon is and what sort of stuff this mod has to offer, including the server that I'm playing on, play.pocketpixels.net, which I am also sponsored by, so please go check them out. I play on the Quantum server and this is consistently taken up 3 of my weekends now, and it's not going to change anytime soon. There are different events that happen throughout the week, which you can read up on these banners, and there's going to be a new Halloween event coming up this weekend, which I guess will be tomorrow by the time I upload this. But that's a future video thing. Everything you need to get started is in the description, and all you need is a Minecraft Java account, everything else being completely free. There are some free welcome packs that you can also pick up, but I'll go into more detail at the end of the video. For now, let's jump in where we left off. For today, I think I just want to enjoy the apricorns of my labor and take part in some of the server activities. We have a whole farm kitted out, and I think we can start crafting a whole bunch of Pokeballs to go on a catching spree. If you go to the menu by typing in /menu, you can take part in the daily bingo challenge, which is exactly what it sounds like. You get a certain number of Pokemon that you need to catch, and for each one you get a reward, getting some even higher tier rewards for completing rows, or even the whole card. You can also take part in the Pokemon hunt, which basically involves you catching a certain Pokemon that have certain attributes. This is slightly harder, but you get some pretty good rewards from this. But before we do any of that, I want to relocate. Yup, right after all that setup. I like the little orchard that we've grown, but this was never really my permanent home. We lucked out with a relatively untouched ravine, but we're still pretty close to a spawn point, so many resources have already been drained. A lot of land nearby is also claimed, and I know some of you have joined the server now, so I thought I should just head far out in a random direction to secure some land for all of us. So out into the wild we go. Oh. Hi there. Doing good, buddy? Crystal Onyx is actually pretty cool. I'm just hoping that he keeps his power when it becomes a Steelix, because I'm not sure how useful it will be as an Onyx. So I hop on my brand new Lunala, spin around, and just start flying. And keep on flying. I actually do this for a solid in-game day. And even hit the border. I don't want to build near a border, so I just backtrack a little, but I do find and catch a Lapras here. I think that's rare. Eventually, I found an area that was adjacent to pretty much every biome you would need, including a large unaltered mountain, a normal forest, a spruce forest, and a mushroom forest, and some plains if you just need some flat land. But the winner for me was this little lake hidden within the hills of a flower forest. This is probably my favorite biome, and there are so many things we could do with this, and many ways I could ruin this. The land nearby is entirely unclaimed, so if you're looking to join, why not join me near my coordinates, which I will print on the screen. So after committing a lot of deforestation, I began building my home. And just kept on building. I spent literally a whole day, real life day, just building. And oh my god, what is this monstrosity? This is where I should have stopped, but I just kept going. I was in a trance. I have no clue why I made it so large. Remember a quaint little home in the mountains? This is what I've done to this beautiful flower forest. I'll make it look good. Promise. This was basically my project for the first day of the week, and after spending so much time laying out the floor, I suddenly decided to change the color, meaning I had to remove the initial flooring. Do you know how many stacks of wood one floor What? Our first legendary spawned right by us. Meloetta was hiding out somewhere in this flower forest, and I just couldn't find it. This is an issue I didn't foresee, but do you know how hard it is to find Pokemon in this biome? Especially small ones at night. I was looking everywhere. I even enlisted some help until I saw the next message. We had 2 minutes before all the Pokemon were about to despawn. I just entered hyper-focus mode and ignored everyone right after asking for help, and I actually felt so bad about that at the time. But just as I was giving up hope, there she was, taunting me. I don't even know how I saw it. I sent out Lunala, and she can't touch her. Meloetta only has normal moves, and Lunala is a ghost type. I just lower its health and start throwing balls. It's even dark, so dust balls have their bonus. and yet she would just not get in. Listen, I was only 10 balls down, but in the 6 hours I've played, I've already experienced heartbreak. I just threw one of my master balls, and we have caught our first legendary. That is one of my goals crossed off. Back to my monstrosity. You know I was gonna go on a little hunt after this, but Pokemon seemed to just keep coming to me. I had so many shinies spawn during my build time, and I couldn't find a single one of them. It's so hard to see them, and the minimap doesn't help at all. It just shows us the locations of the Pokemon, not what they actually are, is what I thought for the longest time, until a kind player pointed out that I had the wrong settings enabled, so yeah, that could have been helpful. But I don't discover this until way later, so expect me to lose a few more shinies. But what we lost in shinies, we made up for in boss battles. I got rammed with encounters during my sandbox build time, and not soon after I started building, I saw a Pokemon laying in ambush. An epic tier boss, Mega Beedrill, was scouting my hideout, and we can't just ignore it. Okay, need some help, buddy? You know I can see you. Let's chop this down. Still feeling a bit shy, it seems. Okay, there you go. Some parts of this mod are still a bit janky. I didn't want Lunala out for this one, but let's see how it goes. A not very effective poison jab does about a quarter and then poisons. A super effective air slash does even less. Alright, into Aggron, and yeah, it walls. I use a rock slide, leaving it pretty low, and attempt to catch it, but it seems like that's not allowed. One more rock slide finishes it off, and we get a massive horde of rewards. We get an XP share, which will be big for EV training. A Gracium Z, so we can start using Z moves immediately. And even a Beedrillite. We're not allowed to Mega Evolve in the first 6 gyms, but that could be helpful for just general boss battles, and Weedle's a pretty common find here. Alright, back to building my base. I wanted the entire wall to be glass, and glass needs a ton of sand, so like an idiot, I went to the desert and just started digging. Is there a word like deforestation for digging up all the sand in the desert? Well, I did that, and then wasted a ton of coal just melting away. What I could have done was just head over to the block shop and just bought what I needed. There's actually quite a lot of rare blocks you can buy here, and making money is really simple. You could grow a farm, mine for ore, battle some trainers on the battle road, or even easier, make 2,000 a day by typing in /vote to get given a link to 4 different sites where you can vote for the server. You get a vote key for each one, which you can use on a crate by typing in /crate. You can do this 4 times a day. I do realize this not much later, but of course only after I use up all that coal. So after buying some blocks, back to building we get, what? So just as I teleported back home, I get swarmed by Ultra Beasts. I actually didn't catch the announcement. The Celestial popping out of nowhere was a jump scare. I throw my Lunala ass at it, and it's level 70. I panicked and I just threw another Master Ball. I should really be saving these. And there was a Xurkitree just chilling in my lake. I used up my last Master Ball, so we have to do this the old-fashioned way. I lower its health a little bit with Lunala and just start chucking balls. But then after seeing how much Power Whip does, I figure I shouldn't let Lunala get hit with an electric move. Into Excadrill, and he pretty much walls. Power Whip can still do a bit, but we're immune to Thunder Punch, and Wrap is not very effective. And not soon after, Xurkitree gets an Ultra Ball. Not gonna lie, that was pretty stressful. I just got thrown into that. Regular Pokeballs are actually 90% less effective against Ultra Beasts, and I've not completely gotten over my fear of crashing. And the Ultra Beasts were level 70. This is technically a Nuzlocke. Well, I did say I wanted to go on a catching spree, but I also don't want this video to be as long as my last one, so I think that's a good place to start wrapping up. Is what I would have said if I didn't have yet another Meloetta spawn on us. This time, however, a very kind mod joins me in the hunt and offers me 10,000 coins to catch it herself. And look, we already have one. I accepted. I've only been playing for maybe 8 hours in total and we're already trafficking legendaries. But then she gives it back to me. I already have one and she already paid me, so I was more than happy for her to keep it, but she was very persistent. So thank you, Cyndaquil. This was also to complete her dex, which means she didn't have one. Like I said, I already have one, so instead I'll pay it forward and just give it to whoever one of you joins the server. First come, first served. I'll be on the server all weekend, so just let me know if you're here from my video and you can have the legendary as your starter. If not, then I'll just give it back to her. So yeah, if you're struggling with cash, just find a legendary and hope someone buys it off of you. This feels like unethical advice. And literally 10 minutes later, an Azelf spawns on me. And that same mod offers me 50k to keep it. Of course I'm taking that. She teleports over. And within 5 seconds, all of the Pokemon are cleared. Is it too much to ask to be lucky with no consequences for just a day? We had literally 60 seconds and 30 after the deal had been made. That was actually so unlucky. My 50k. Oh, and it was around now when I realized that you can actually see Pokemon icons on the minimap. Which happened at the perfect time because there was absolutely no way I could have found the shiny Weedle otherwise. Sorry to ruin your day, buddy. Now this sounds underwhelming, but we have a shiny Weedle and a Beedrillite. I think I know what my next goal is going to be. We even have a crystal onyx and can probably afford a steelixite. During this time, I ran into another mega boss battle, this time against Mega Alakazam. We can get an Abra pretty easily and an Alakazam at level 16. It is level 91, but I think Lunala can handle this with his bulk and his type advantage. Shadow Ball doesn't do much, but wait, what did I move first? Huh? Oh. They can do that? Why does a boss Pokemon have the move Teleport? Alright, now's probably a good place to wrap up. We can do the catching spree another day. I think I've had enough excitement for this session. And then we get attacked by another horde of Ultra Beasts. What's happening today? Look, I have 3 Master Balls from my dailies and there are 3 Ultra Beasts, none of which I already have. I think we can do the maths. Until I realized that Lunala Ball's Buzzwole, I've managed to catch it in an Ancient Ultra Ball, which means that we can preserve a Master Ball. And with that, I think we can wrap up. All that's left is to open up the crates bestowed to us by the server deities. First roll, and we land a shiny Snorlax. I'm actually pretty happy about that one. Snorlax is an amazing Pokemon in its base form and has a pretty busted G-Max form. And on our second roll, we get a Politoed. That's cute, I think. Okay, no Drizzle, never mind, it's dead to me. One last thing I want to do before the end. I haven't just been building and crafting all this time. I've also been mining. And through that, I've gained stacks on stacks of ore. Iron, bauxite, silicon, I have them all. And what these have in common is that they can all be smelted to roll for our fabled Meltan. I have 515 pieces of ore, and with that, we have roughly a 15% chance to land a Meltan. So I build a wall of furnaces in my basement, chuck them all in, and let's see how it goes. Once they're all cooked, we can pull the ingots out, and... Thank you all for watching. If you're looking to try this mod out, join me on the Quantum server on play.pocketpixels.net. Like I said at the very start, everything you need to get started is linked in the description. And aside from the Minecraft Java account, it is all free. The server is packed full of stuff to do outside of just playing the Pixelmon base game, and they also host many events, including one I'll be taking part in tomorrow, the Halloween event. You can find out about these by joining the Discord, discord.gg/pocketpixels, so please consider joining that if you play on the server. And make sure to get your welcome pack. All you do is go to the store, go to Pixelmon featured items, select the welcome pack, fill out your Minecraft username and the server you're playing on, just select no add-ons and press continue. This pack is entirely free and includes a shiny Pokemon and a Master Ball. And that's it for today. I'm still trying to find the sweet spot for my shorter videos as my last one did end up being too long, and I think around the 15-minute mark seems to be feasible. Not including gameplay, I can make a video in about 2 or 3 days, giving me the entire rest of the week to work on my long-form edited videos. Speaking of which, my next 2 videos are in the works. One's my standard hardcore Nuzlocke, but the other one, which will be coming out next, is something new I'm going to try out. This is part of my shorter video experiment and something I have a few ideas for as a series, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the response. So please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already to catch those when they drop. Damn, that was smooth. Anyway, that's all from me. See ya.